Good morning. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's reading is a bit of a fun, hopefully a bit of a fun reading. It's you and me going through the cards together. I'm going to go through a spread and I'm going to show you the cards as I do it to see whether you can jump in as well, perhaps in the comment section, to see what you can see. And that's why it's not a reading about somebody that you actually know, but a celebrity. So today's reading is a festive celebration with your celebrity crush. So if they come to whatever celebration you'd be having, perhaps this time of the year or any time of the year, to be honest. Your first choice is snow. Your second choice is gratitude. And your third choice is gatherings. I'm away from home, so the view isn't as good, but I'll turn the cards around to show you. I don't know if you can see my breath and my army and navy clothes under here. It's absolutely freezing, but let's get going. Tell you what I've got so far. With regards to what I can see at the moment, it feels like a Capricorn and Venus type of feeling, which if you're not interested in astrology, it's somebody who is polite, somebody who is good at socializing, and somebody who's quite formal with the way that they socialize. This person is this card here, the Empress, is their outward expression, how they come across immediately. You know, that's that persona, maybe like a rising sign or something. So this has this Venusian feeling of somebody who knows their pleasantries and works really well with them. Not very good English there. It's somebody who looks good, dresses well, pleases and thank yous, and sees the room. Who I'm thinking of when I'm looking at this, I don't know if you remember Spandau Ballet, the one with the very blue eyes, one of the brothers with the very blue eyes. Seeing him interact with people, looking up his chart, thinking he seems Venus, and I know he's got Libra somewhere, so that has that feeling. With the Empress card there as well, there could be something in the way that they dress or come across is not threatening. It's got a feeling of, as I said, Venus, and softness and beauty. Looking good, feeling good, working the room is that type of feeling. Now this is the inner self, and it's always funny when I look for outer self, I always choose these cards, and inner self I always go with the Goliath pack. It'd be interesting to know the personalities of both the artists. This is a very Scorpionic pack, and this has a more Sagittarius-y outward feel to it. With the Star card over here for with regards to what's going on beneath the surface. This is a person, I guess, who is quite spiritual, whatever that means. It's that feeling of somebody that sees themselves as a small part of a big world and sees the churnings of perhaps a different world inside them. And I know that sounds a bit strange again, but Uranus there, it's somebody who could be interested in astrology, somebody who's interested perhaps in science and poking their nose out with regards to metaphysics in some way. And I think when I think of those two together, I always think of Einstein. Open-minded. And also a feeling here of somebody, even though they're quite civil on the outside, with these two together, this person won't take any crud from anybody. If somebody tries to take advantage of their politeness or their miscongeniality, this person would see through it straight away and he would put a stop to it, I think, with these two cards here. It's awareness, it's patterns of knowing that we all go through certain cycles and we decide what part we want to play, and not allowing anybody else to encroach upon this nice exterior, because underneath this, these two cards are quite tough and knowing, I guess. Yep, okay, with regards to a gift that they're going to bring, this is where I'm hoping you're going to start putting in some of your ideas here. The Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, when I put this out, my first thought was something small, something practical. So I'm here thinking, perhaps a game that you can play with others because the wands are inclusive, or something practical. Oh, no, I'm not thinking of a duster, but it's that type of thing. Page of Wands as well. This is like somebody who's quite childlike, who may, with the Wands card there, like to do something inclusive, as I said, a board game or a small action gift, you know, like going to a day out at Chessington Zoo, something like that. That type of activity-based thing. Something you can do, something where there's action, something small. I wanted to say lots of little presents here, but that's more Virgo. And then you could also look here at the pictures, at, you know, what's going on. So you could be actually quite literal and say something like, hey, what they call, not oracles, bifocals. What expands your vision? Binoculars. Oh my Lord, I'm thinking Uranus, starseed, the Empress there, somebody beautiful with a bit of an edge behind them, a bit of insight coming around with a pair of binoculars. You've got so many. If cards get difficult, as in you can't actually think, sometimes the pictures actually spur you into action. A lot of times they actually make your answers or your thoughts ridiculous, because you've got the warmth here, you've got lots of tropical birds, you've got like coats here. You could go down any direction here. So I'm going to leave that one to you. This is where my mind's flicking. This reminds me here of wallpaper I had as a kid, which was jungle. There was like jungle things all over the place. And my grandma once slept in my bed when she was really drunk one night. And I can remember going in, and I don't know if it was at bedtime anyway, whether she'd gone to bed that early, because I was about 4 or 5, and she was like talking to the animals. So this has got an idea of something that's wrapped up tropically, like a tropical sort of jungle print, as in the actual gift is wrapped up in that. And inside there's something to do with vision, possibly. I'm trying to think of games. You know, when you have that game, do you remember the game Frustration, which was like a bubble, and you had to take a little cone around, this is a really old one, around the board, and you pop down the bubble and the dice danced inside. That type of feeling. So that's where my mind would go, but perhaps nobody needs to know that one. Right, you've got here their personality. I've got the Moon and the Queen of Wands here. So this is like you against each other. I always choose these cards. This is more like a how do you read tarot? I always choose these cards because they can bat off each other depending on which direction they're facing, which is really nice. You've got the Moon card here for them. So this has got a feeling of keeping a bit back. With Uranus here, which is, to be honest, I would guess, apart from Cancer, one of the most shyest signs, which you wouldn't expect. If you get Cancer and Aquarius together, it's really difficult to get them out of the house. I know there are other shy signs like Pisces, sometimes Capricorn, but that is probably the two that I would choose together to be very withdrawn and very, introverted, a bit afraid of poking their nose out sometimes. So the Moon card here makes me think of somebody who's gone inside themselves a little bit and is relying on polite pleasantries. Although there's a lot going on beneath here. You've got the Queen of Wands here with regards to how you're coming across. You're all over them. The Queen of Wands is fire. If you go into the house of a Queen of Wands and they open the door, it's a real big hearted greeting. It's like a come in, everything's warm. Actually, not always. Some Queen of Wands are particularly, Aries particularly here, not into decor and Venus type things. So, yeah, it may be cold. It may be cold, but the heart will be warm. There's a feeling of somebody that is demonstrative with regards to the way that they greet you. It's like warm, it's holding, hugs, and you feel welcome. And that would thaw. And if you get a Leo and a Uranus together, you know, they go very well together. But I think it would be the Leo who would say not so much, because they're opposites. And I remember having a tarot reading by a Leo lady who was warning me against Aquarius people. It didn't work because my husband is, but they're more held back, you're more warm. And this can come across as, I guess, a feeling of, it's like excitement. It's like, this is going to be good type of, it's like fire people want to be heroic in life. In a great way, that they make the most of every moment and they put their effort into every moment. So you really are on them. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Sorry, I'm just looking at which section was which. Okay, their personality, Ten of Pentacles. This is probably because of the type of question where you would start reading the card. If this personality of this somebody who is probably got Uranus and the Starseed card, quite a lot of internal thoughts and curiosities and questions and knowings in some case here, and is very polite and pleasant and inclusive of others. They like people. The Empress, Venus, they like people. They want to be with people. Taurus, it will probably just be eating. But this card here, that is very rude, isn't it? Taurus will be enjoying the food. Libra will be more interested in the conversation. One's air and one's earth. But with this table set up like this, it's like somebody who is very happy to be fed. Very happy to be fed, seated and really enjoying the company. As I said, it goes with the Empress inclusive feeling here. You've got here with regards to, if you're imagining this scene, with regards to your parents being there, which I'm sure if it's a crush you're not, but let's just imagine they are. You've got the Hierophant card here, which is making me think of more Taurusy in some sense, because, and that would be discussing the food and talking about the food and thank you, Mrs. Jones, this is lovely, thank you, Mr. Jones, that type of time. You know, it's very traditional. It's very much in by traditional here I'm meaning very much into, and I don't actually mean traditional as in that word, but and there's something, it's celebrating events, it's making markers in the year, whatever the reason, whatever the religion, and being there with other people to celebrate it, I'm getting here. So your person's happy. With the Hierophant card here, it makes me think of the Saturn being the ruler of Aquarius, more than Uranus being the ruler of Aquarius, which is here. So I'm twisting it a little bit here. So that has got, once again, a very respectful feel with regards to elders who are there, or people that you would expect me to respect. It's not like they're throwing up on the table after stuffing down, I don't know, fondues. What is a fondue? This has got a feeling of somebody who's respectful and having what I guess is polite conversations and following them through, because Saturn's interested in tradition, they're interested, and so the Hierophant card as well in some extent, because it passes along like scriptures and things, so interested in where people have come from, what their thoughts are, and possibly going back and talking about how things were set up, you know, their life, or if you moved to a certain country, you know, where did you come from and how did you find it. It's throwing situations back to find a foundation in some way here with Saturn. And a respect for that. So this is somebody who's genuinely interested in what has passed and other people's stories, which is the Hierophant card as well, I suppose, here. Now, with regards to you, you've got the Mother of Cups, so they're relating to you in a very emotional way, in a very sort of probably enjoying, and it was this card here, wasn't it, the way that you, how warm you are and how you greeted them, and responding to that with what I guess, if this has an Aquarius type of feel to it with the Starseed and Uranus here, you're warming them up a little bit, you're allowing them to be more of that part of themselves, because it's the opposites here, the polarities here, that they possibly don't get to be with cooler people, not like Fonzie cool, but as in, you know, people who are a little bit more reserved, because you're not reserved here. You are the host with the mostest here. You have got everything in your hands, you've got a twinkle in your eye, you are giving out, I don't mean this in a rude way, but giving out full time to everybody. It's so lovely, that is lovely. But with the Mother of Cups here, they're relating to you in an emotional way. So if that was a conversation, an emotional, my fingers are frozen. If that was my hands look like I'm dead. It would be relating to you. How would a Cancerian relate to you if they were talking to you and coming from this energy? Would be talking about your feelings, what inspires you, what you care for, what makes you happy, trying to get to know you better, trying to understand where you're coming from with regards to who you are as a person rather than, what you do, I guess here. And in some way, with them relating to you, the Mother of Cups, and you, the Queen of Wands here, you could be rushing them along a bit. Could be trying to speed up the conversation, maybe through nerves if it really is a celebrity crush. But it could be a case of speeding up the conversation a little bit. You jumping ahead, lots of people. It feels like a very inclusive, with these cards here, very inclusive type of everybody chipping in with a little bit to say something. And especially if you are the hostess with this card here, you will not be grabbing this person in the corner and just trying to aim for them. It would be, this is so and so and welcome, and everybody else is allowed to get in there. Right, with regards to leaving or ending this meeting, you've got the Eight of Swords. So there's some sort of this is how I would interpret this: awkward kiss goodbye. And there's nothing like an awkward kiss goodbye, is there? In fact, I think awkward kisses goodbye are worse than awkward kisses hello, because you've got time to think about it when they've gone. My sister-in-law stays where I am now in Wales, and she stays with this guy who is very much a King of Wands type guy. But used to not own the football team, but used to get all the kids together and play football with them, and was always very happy and very open. And what did she do? She kissed him goodbye and got his neck. And every time she sees him, she's, oh my God, there he is. There he is. He's such a lovely guy as well. I think he just carried on, probably enjoyed it. But that's what we were talking about every time she comes down. So that feels like an awkward parting, possibly with a bit of afterthought, like, oh no, what did I say? What did I do? Why did I kiss that person's neck? So that is today's reading on festive celebrations with your celebrity. An unusual read, I'll give you that, but hopefully it's just a bit of fun, and we go through the cards together with this one, which I think is quite nice. Because hopefully, as in the main reason for tarot, your mind starts worrying, and if it's worrying with regards to how you can apply it to your life, that's good. But in today's case, if you're worrying with regards to how you'd interpret the cards, that's good too. So I'm going to leave that there. Please let me know who your crush is. Please subscribe. You can unsubscribe later, but in some way I'm sure it helps. So I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. This has got a funny feeling to it. This has got a feeling of somebody who has got an incredible presence. And I suppose a lot of celebrities must have in some way. There must be something there for them to be, there's got to be something there that can click into people's needs, wants, vibrations. I don't really know. They're starting off here as their inner vibration, I suppose, is the karmic soul tribe. So as I'm thinking of this is somebody that comes across with a presence, as in a full-on wow type of feeling, because you would see this person as not only just being a celebrity, but part of, like, the head in the group that you would like to be in, or that you actually are in. So and we often are drawn towards celebrities who have very similar characteristics to ourselves. And your charts often, almost like swap in some way, because who they are is who you would like to be if you were on stage, or if you were an artist in some shape or form, I guess. You've got here outwardly the Nine of Water. So this is a difficult part because it goes in between. The Nine of Water would be somebody who is warm, expressive, kind, gentle, talks a lot, and it's funny, it's smug, but not in a bad way. It's like, I'm happy at myself, let's play type of feeling here, but with a very strong impact. You've got Eros here in the centre. Eros always fascinates me. I can't really tell you how much, because it just does. Because it's like an asteroid, and you think, hey, asteroids, bits of floating rock. But if you follow Eros through your chart, it is a fantastic timer for finding out things in your life that make you want to be here, make you feel alive. And a lot of the time that passion can relate to people, but a lot of the time it's creativity, and it's, you know, it's like a project as well. And the people that Keanu Reeves has got this on his ascendant. And there's a very short clip of him which got me because he just got it all together in a couple of sentences. I thought that is really good. It was basically saying what I've just said there. Another person who I think embodied Eros was, these are like people from the past, but this person has interested me the last couple of weeks. I don't know why. Tell you what I do know though, that I tend to be interested in people that have got Pluto on part of their chart even when they've passed, because I had a bit of an Elvis thing going on as well. But Michael Hutchins says, I've been looking at quite a lot again lately, Eros on his ascendant, and even when I was younger, there was something I couldn't quite click with him, and I think it is his dancing, to be honest, just really fickle. I didn't like the way he danced. That is very, very fickle, but my God, he made up for it with his hair. He had Eros in his ascendant. There was something about him that was incredibly sexual, fantastical. There really was something there. And that interview with Paula Yates, if you haven't seen it, you must watch it. When he's on, she used to interview on the bed, didn't she, in the breakfast program that she had, and the chemistry between the pair of them. And he's so sexy and shy and scorpionic and erosy, and oh my God, he's everything all rolled into one. Really interesting. Anyway, so your person is coming across as having, as I just said with regards to probably the latter person I just talked about, having a very big, or making a very big impression, and it won't just be with you, it would be everybody else who's at your festive do, whatever it is. And the Nine of Water here is somebody who's happy to be there, somebody who's making conversation and laughing and joking, and is really just excited to be doing something and be in your house or be where you are. It's somebody who's making the most of the event. With regards to the gift here, this is where I start hoping that you'll help me out. Sometimes these cards are good for looking at the pictures when you've got like a gift, and it can have an immediate impression without even looking at the card, but you can actually start using the picture as well. So with regards to gifts, the Lover's card immediately would be, it's like opposites, isn't it? It's like two things. It's like you've got this, so they bring this. You've got the salt, they bring the pepper. It's like, that has not been a good present, but it's something like that. You've got natural things here. You've got hats, so you could go down that route if you wanted to. Do you know what I'm thinking? Which is really boring. There's a feeling here that they bring a wine and you drink the other one. It's like they bring red, you drink white. It's that type of feeling, because it's got something to do with opposites, and I don't know if you've got any ideas here. Clothes, hats, something light, something airy with the Gemini feeling here in the birds. So it could be something to read, some sort of communication, something how you can communicate with this person. It could even be something written. But that's where you need to help me out on that one. But now with regards to this one here, which is to go with the introduction, why would you have, this is a good reading because I can get you to do it for me, why would you have the Nine of Swords with the Lover's card? To me, the only way I can interpret this is they give you, this is a bit of Fantasy Island, they give you, I've done this myself, I don't drink red wine, and I went into a party and I gave this guy who had this sort of qualities about him. In fact, he was in a band and travelled all the way around Europe, not the world, but all the way around Europe, and everybody was attracted to him. I didn't quite get it. Good friend. And I bought red wine and I put it in the fridge. And he's like, you don't drink red wine, do you? It's like a mistake or something that makes you feel slightly awkward that you cringe about afterwards. Not that that's a big mistake, but it's like going into the party with whatever gift he has or she has, and somebody in the group saying, oh, you don't drink that, or that type of thing. It was like awkward at the beginning and a bit painful. So that's what I would go with that. With regards to their personality in general, you've got steadiness here, and you've got working on it, work it, and you've got the Nine of Water here. So this is somebody who is not, to me, would be immovable with regards to going into a group. If there's a group of people there waiting at this celebration, which you're probably thinking, oh, I don't want my mum and dad to be there. It's like they are not easily swayed or nervous. They're very much, with Eros as well, they own who they are. They're very much, Eros is very much in touch with life and passions, and this person's enjoying it. And this work card here is they're making an effort with people. And they've got a skill at it as well. They've got a skill at conversing. Can you imagine that? A skill at conversing and being, this to me I'm interpreting as not nervous. This person enjoys people. Another person, I've got so many golden oldies. I don't watch TV as much as I used to. I don't used to buy magazines all the time when I was in my 20s and my teens, if I could afford them in my teens. But I don't really do that anymore. So all these people I referred to are like really quite old. The other person that has this feeling, more these two to be honest, is Christopher Lambert. When he was interviewed years and years ago, and I was mesmerised by this, he was slightly drunk. And he was one of these, like, I think it was Graham Norton. Christopher Lambert was out of Highlander and the early Tarzan. And he was so happy in himself. He was probably, as I said, quite slightly squiffy, but he was talking about his vineyards, and there was something so attractive about him. And it's almost like your Eros meets him rather than him being Eros. It was like, oh my God, you're even more attractive. He was just giggling on the couch, and they both played together in a way that this person was really laid back and kind and gentle. Yay. Okay, so as we move on here, excuse me, I'm just remembering what this one is. Okay, so this sort of adds on to the general feeling of the room with the Death card here. Because you've got the karmic soul type here, I would be interpreting the Death card as in nobody else knows, especially with Eros here as well, and that is an impact and a half that can make people quite jelly-kneed. I made that up. Not jelly-eel, jelly-kneed. It's everybody else goes type of, kind of quiet and doesn't know how to interact with this person because of this presence, but they are putting everybody at ease, even if you did make them feel ridiculous about the gift that they made, or somebody did. So I would interpret the Death card here as quiet, silence, all eyes on them. They are enjoying it, but not from a vain point of view, from a point of view just happy to be there, but everybody else is allowing them to take up the space to, take up the room, take up the air. Now, with regards to, I don't know why I put this category in here, but the Two of Pentacles, you brought your parents. I was thinking festivities. It's normally family, isn't it? So you're thinking crush, just me and my crush. But the Two of Pentacles here has a strange feeling of what I guess is, it's a bit of a coming down from this energy here. And if this is like parents or people that you respect or that you want them to be polite to, they are polite, and that's it to me. It's like a back and fro, or to and fro, to and fro of practical information. Not backed up with the feeling that this person has here and who they are genuinely. They're being what I guess is polite and doing it. Just getting it done. Not in a rude way, but in a way that is, oh, how long have you lived here? That type of, do you come here often type of conversation. Is my house. With regards to you though, you've got the Ten of Cups. So you're actually jumping up from the 9 to the 10 here. And the fact that you got the Lovers at the beginning with regards to present, you could have got something that felt like there was some sort of attachment, attraction, maybe attachment between the pair of you, maybe with the karmic soul tribe here. And the Ten of Cups, I would interpret with regards to their interactions with you. You're getting a lot of this and more. It's like you've got a bond that makes you feel as if you share a background and feelings and thoughts and, you know, almost like childhood or things that give you emotional responses. You click into a conversation, it's flowing, and you're not even looking at everybody else in the room, and they're all deathly silent watching you two talk, watching you two. Or kick it off with the cup cards here. If you feel emotion to somebody when you're talking to them, you're attracting them in the first place, you know, you think, hey, you really think this is good. You know, yeah. It feels nice and it feels flowing. It feels warm. It feels like people could turn around in the middle of the, I don't know, chicken dinner or whatever you're having and see you two touching each other's knees. Yeah, knees. It's that type of feeling here because there's warmth and laughing and heads thrown back and conversation that is celebrating life. And you two. Now, with regards to the end card and them disappearing at the end, you've got the Hermit card. Don't like that one. Not when this person's coming across like this. This is like somebody who, and I can understand this, who's not very good at goodbyes. Somebody who skulks off into the night. And I'm a midnight skulker myself. New Year's Eve, I'm not keen New Year's Eve, to be honest, and I tend to disappear before 12 o'clock. I don't know why. I think it's because it's expected to tell them, and I'm like, oh, that's the expectation I'm not going to live up to. So I wonder whether your person withdraws by the end of the night. You know, the Hermit card as well, how do they say goodbye? And you've got the Gemini card over here with regards to the gift. And the Hermit card could link with that with regard... let me put a nice spin on that. That could link with that card with regards to... let me put, a nice festive spin. I'll come round and bring you that book that I was talking about. Or I'll bring you the sequel to the book I've just given you as your gift. Because you're getting on so well here, you could, if this was, you know, a real person in your house, that could be interpreted as that because of the, I guess, the intellectual or the spiritual pursuits of the Hermit go with the Lover's card and the gift. So, to sum up this pile number 2 with regards to your celebrity crush coming round to see your parents, there is a feeling here that this person has a presence that stuns everybody else to silence and watching and just basically gobsmacked with regards to somebody who's famous, I guess. They've got Eros and the Nine of Water here with regards to them, and so that's somebody that comes across as happy with themselves, playing with life, enjoying every moment. There's a feeling here that their gift, almost whatever it is, could fall flat in some ways, because the Nine of Swords here has some sort of anxiety, which I interpreted as perhaps, you know, going in and finding you've got 10 of the same gifts there, 10 of the same books, or 10 of the I don't know what, or that you've already read the book they've given you, or you've already got the wine here, because that Nine of Swords is quite a difficult card that you think about later when you get to bed. With regards to their personality, it's somebody who's not shaken by other people and enjoys conversing, enjoys being sociable, enjoys working to make other people feel happy. Everybody else doesn't really know what to say. With regards to parents, or it was parents and people that were very close to you here, they're good at it. They're working at it. You've got Pentacle cards. They're working at the conversation. It's okay. With regards to the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Water here fitting together, it's more than okay with you. It's flowing, it's touching, it's holding, it's laughing, it's joking, it's expressing, and it's being emotive in some way that you can almost feel like you had the same upbringing, I guess. And when they go, they promise you the sequel to the book that you already had. So that's what I've got. So I don't know if you could interpret that differently, so please do in the comment section. I was more of a reading that we could do together here for Christmas, but please subscribe if you're out there and you like the readings. Thank you very much. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. You've got gatherings here. And that will come into play with this card here, which I'll talk about in a minute. There's a feeling here that your person is different. There's a feeling here that don't know. This is what I would say. And either a big ego, because you've got the sun here. Somebody who's not particularly good with the general population. Somebody who takes up a lot of space in a room. Somebody who, I'm thinking like rock starry type of person. Somebody who could be quite young and not really, I don't know, let's go for it here. Inwardly, Ace of Swords, and outwardly, the Ace of Water. I always choose these two cards, and I don't even know that I'm doing it. To be honest, it's a bit subconscious. With regard, this one is inward, and I'm wondering whether the man who designed the Goliath is quite, well, I'm sure he is because he's an artist, but it's got that feeling of a scorpionic feeling of being, lots of thought, lots of quiet, lots of passion put into something. The Ace of Water here, with regards to them being outward, and this card, these cards I always choose for outward, has that feeling of somebody who, this woman travels, I know she does, but it's somebody who is more outgoing with the energy. So that's why I choose those two cards, got nothing to do with the reading. So the Ace of Water with regards to outwards, this person has got a ego. You've got the sun in the centre, two aces. This person is ready to start anything. There's a warmth behind them. There's a passion behind them. There is a lot of thought going on. The fact that you had the Ace of Swords as an inner pile and the Ace of Water here, this person, to be honest with the Sun card, they knows who they are and knows that people probably are attracted to them. The Ace of Swords makes me think that they're always thinking of, I was going to say themselves, because the Sun is ego. Oh my gosh. Oh, this sounds really awful, but how things can profit them in some way. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's like they're always thinking of what's next. And the fact that this is probably about themselves and their Sun, it's like what's next for them. But with the Ace of Water here, they make people feel good. So there's a certain sort of youthful, rock starry feel about it, rather than somebody that's mature and mellowed. It's somebody that's still searching, because these have a cardinal feel of pushing outwards and wanting what's next, wanting to see what's next. And this is all a beginning, and let's go with it. So this is quite character, is what I would say here. And even more so as you get down here, these two cards are the gift and basically the first impressions and how the gift's received. You've got here the Four of Cups. They don't give you anything. They don't bring anything with them. Not a bottle of wine, box of chocolates. I was going to say jack shit then, but that's what you get. Then you've got here the Five of Wands. It's how they bring their friends with them. So this has got a very sort of somebody turning up slightly drunk, very drunk actually, with a few friends. And you're like, well, hold on. But let's keep going. I don't know, it might be right, to be honest, because this is just an exercise for us all, hopefully, to see how cards come out and where they should go. You've got these two cards here with the interaction, the immediate interaction between the pair of you. This is them, and these cards are fantastic because of the way that people face. And you can, if you put them in a row, and each row has a particular meaning, it tells a story. To me anyway. You've got here like them offering you nothing because it's repeated with the Four of Cups here. They're not really giving out much of their personality, even though they have the possibility here with the Ace of Water. You've got your back turned on them and you're carrying your wand. You've got your back turned on them. So you're busy, and I think that you are doing the hosting or hostessing, and you are right in the centre of it. And this person is very much ego. I don't know. This hasn't got the most, unless you're after somebody who's got a bit of a bite. This, please shift powers if you're not. This has got somebody who is sassy. Again, I use that word. I've used that word a couple of times. It's somebody who's young, starting out, full of excitement of their career, what they're doing, youthful, and pushing things to the limit with these two cards starting out here. And that is like the showman, show lady in the centre here. And they're bringing nothing with them. maybe some friends, and they're not offering that much either. And you've got your back to them, so you're just busy doing things here. And the next card here, which is adding to this card, is more like a card that you lean into, is the Seven of Swords, which is a, oh my gosh, I'm going to say something that's just come to mind here because of the backdrop of the play. It feels like a play. The backdrop here, please ignore it and don't think I'm being rude, but it's just like somebody that runs outside to snort coke. You've got all these lines here. They're all white. You've got this person doing what they're doing and having this rock star feel. So this is somebody that runs out the party and gets on with what I guess is feeling more aces. I guess. You may be interpreting this different, especially, well, you may be, but this is what I've got. So hopefully it'll fit in for somebody out there. And you've got here, with regards to how they get on with your parents. Sorry. And you've got the Father of Wands. To me, that is rubbing them up the wrong way. It's like a little bit of a fight going on here. It would be nice to put a card with regards to how people, it doesn't have to be your parents, it's people that you respect who are part of your tribe that may not be or may be part of this tribe, but it's like the Father of Wands. It's their behaviour doesn't change because that's how they're coming across in the first place. They just carry on doing what they're doing, and it's all about them, this pile. With regards to you, you come across really well. You've got the Father of Cups. So to me, I think there's something in them that excites you, possibly the Father of Cups. It's like you may be looking for somebody who's different, or somebody who pushes others outside their comfort zone, who's exciting and plays with life right on the edge, with the Father of Cups here. And you may identify with that, and there may be some comfort in that. It's like, take me along with you. Let's go to the garden with lines in it, is what I would say. No, actually, no, that's not, I'm not going to say that, but that they relate to you in a way that allows you both to feel comfort. You may both have what I guess is similar moon signs, which with this feeling here could be a Scorpio moon conjunct Uranus. Is that actually possible? Yeah, it is. Libra moon conjunct Uranus. Edgy and intense. Libra is intense, but I'm trying to think of moons where Uranus has been the last, 20, 30 years. So that is nice, the Father of Cups there, with regards to how you both relate. There's something in this person's atrocious behaviour that you really enjoy and that you can relate to. What can I say? Let's go to your last card here, the Two of Swords, with regards to how do they leave you. Isn't it funny that you've got the Ace and the Ace and the Two at the end? It's like speechless, to be honest. The Swords of communication. Yeah, the Swords of communication. You've got two aces together, which are being played in a way that is slightly exciting or slightly threatening. Threatening to your parents, I guess, with regards to what you pick up here. And this, maybe quite rudeness. See, this is a difficult pile to interpret, because if you give this pile to somebody who's like Uranus-y, Sagittarius-y, they're looking for somebody different, and they're looking for somebody who knows how to play with life, and it's exciting. And I've seen that face on on kids when somebody's been naughty. And if you go into a group of kids and you've got this reminds me of a type of feeling, a little Sagittarius girl that I used to teach. She was absolutely fantastic. She was so full of life and so naughty that if you, as a teacher, slightly push the edge of being a teacher, her eyes would light up. So you may, having the Father of Cups card here, your little eyes may be lighting up too, that you've got somebody to be naughty with, or they're opening that door to naughtiness. So you may be one of those people that enjoy this energy. And then you've got here the Two of Swords at the end. It is speechless. I can't think of a different way to say it. The swords are making me think of communication, thought and talking and speech. This person's coming across as giving you the bird, giving you aces here. and expressing it in a way that they're not really bothered, although they're not doing it on purpose to hurt people. Leos tend to just dramatise life. It's not malicious intent. It's just being engrossed in who they are. They're the performer. And then he is like, wow, where do you go with that? Because it feels like you get told off by your parents, to be honest. That you don't know what to say. It's like, oh my gosh, that was fantastic. What do I say to my mum and dad? But the Father of Cups here, this is like a connection where somebody, and the Cups always throw things backwards, don't they? There's a little bit of sentimentality here. It's like, you remind me of somebody, I enjoy your company, you make me feel at home, I will call you, and you shut the door. And it's one of those, if it was a film, it would be one of those films where the girl, the boy has their back against the door and a smile on their face, and then they get told off by, my God, don't bring that person back again. So that's why I've got pile number 3. I had an unusual read there, but hopefully you could read that one with me. Thank you very much. I'm going to go. Bye.